currently studying industrial engineering, getting my doctorate. My current PhD topic is working with NASA on development of next generation textiles. I decided to get my doctorate because the area that I wish to work in the future is essentially rocketry, especially civilian space exploration. And with my background or my previous history, it would be very difficult for me to break into that industry without the opportunity to have a higher graduate degree. So in 98, I actually moved to the United States from Montreal, Quebec, and as an immigrant, surprisingly, even though it is Canada, that immediately shuts you out of almost every single opportunity within the rocketry industry and aerospace industry. If you can't have access to clearance, you'll never make it. So in 2016, I got my U.S. citizenship, and since then it's been easy rolling, and I've had the opportunity to work on several projects. The biggest thing that's kept me going forward is what is my end goal. I don't think it's strange to anyone who knows me well that I'm relatively bullheaded and wanting to get to that point within my career where I can break through into the rocket industry, working somewhere like Blue Origin or SpaceX or Lockheed Martin, doesn't really matter. It's really been just kind of that driving force behind me to keep me going along the way. And I don't think I think it'd be a complete lie to say that there's a graduate degree out there who hasn't had to deal with something at some point, whether it's imposter syndrome or if you're unlucky, maybe a bad advisor or whatnot. But along the way, you just need to remember what is the end goal and kind of push forward through it. I chose FSU because it met 3 criteria, and for me, this was a pretty big deal. First and foremost, it had to have a program that allowed me to study what I liked the most, or what I was truly passionate about. In this case, it was astronautical-based composite material systems. Second, and this was a pretty big one as well, is I needed a university that would have the facilities and the equipment necessary for me to actually complete my PhD research. There's no worse feeling than coming up with a beautiful experiment, trying to find those results and finding out that you have no way of actually analyzing it. And I've never been in that scenario at FSU. We're very well equipped, especially at the High Performance Material Institute, so there's been absolutely no regrets there, and I made a very good decision with that. And lastly was finding an advisor that's as passionate about rocketry and specifically materials for rocketry as I am. Like I previously mentioned, I have put a lot of emphasis to make sure that I've gotten where I am now, and having somebody who more or less oversees me as well as is more or less a shepherd to my education, who's got that same passion for the rocketry industry as I do, it's been absolutely wonderful. My biggest advice for pursuing a graduate degree is realize that this is not school. I think there's a lot, or at least from what I have seen, there's plenty of undergraduates who are debating graduate school who go into it thinking, oh, this is just going to be a continuation of what I've been doing, and it's not that anymore. This is a job, 100%, and it's a job where you set your own hours and you set your own success. There's going to be weeks where you think that you're gonna work your 40 and do your research, and you end up working 90. The other big thing I can give as far as advice is make sure you choose to go somewhere where you're gonna love it. So really emphasize ahead of time when you're doing your graduate school search that you find some place where you're gonna feel comfortable, you're going to you're going to have the facilities and the support you need, and you're just going to like living.